Hey, good Friday afternoon, everybody. It's March 30th. Still cloudy, cold, just crappy weather today. We cannot catch a break. Rain in the forecast again for tomorrow. This really puts me in mind of what 2012 was like. We had a real wet spring, and then it turned off dry. I'm just hoping this isn't going to be a repeat of 2012. But anyway, I made it to that auction I was telling everybody about. It's been it was a week ago, yesterday I think, when I went. I was telling you I was going to go hunting for a bale accumulator, a bale grapple, and I found them. I got them at a good price. I did bring them home. While I was there, I came across a 30-foot bale wagon. Got it for a good price as well, so I done quite well at the auction. In the same time, the dealer that I bought the square baler from, I contacted them. They had a 8-wheel V-rake, brand new, sitting on their lot. And me and the dealer, we got to talking, the salesman, and obviously, as I've told you, I'm out of the row crop business for now. That may come back sometime, but not this year. And I had a 4-row John Deere 7000 conservation planter sitting in the barn. It was taking up space, and I asked him how he would trade. He told me to take pictures of it, send to him. He asked me if I would bring him the planter, and he agreed we would trade even. So that's where we're at now. I'm going to get the camera, take you inside here, and show you this V-rake, and then I'll take you down to the farm, and I'll show you the rest of the equipment that we got at the auction. Okay, there it is. It is a Frontier WR 1008 8-wheel rake. I don't know a whole lot about these Frontier rakes. I did do a lot of reading online about them before I made this trade. I haven't heard anything at all bad about them. I guess they're all pretty compatible. The only thing that I don't really like about it is unless there's something I have missed, both wings will come down. You can't lock one of them up and have the other down. And the only reason you want to do that, obviously, is to turn over hay that's already in a windrow. But this one, from what I can tell, just by looking at it, haven't went through the book yet, but I don't think it's capable of doing that. Whenever you let that cylinder down there in the center, both wings are going to come down. And what it is what it is. But anyway, for a brand new rake, trading a corn planter that was probably, I'm gonna say 40 years old, 41 years old probably. For a brand new rake, I don't think I got hurt too bad on it. I had the option to trade for a 10-wheel rake opposed to the 8-wheel, and I'll tell you the reason I did not do that. With the Bermuda grass I'm gonna grow, 10-wheel rake would have been fine. The orchard grass, however, obviously it's gonna be a little bit more long, stemmy. I was afraid that a 10-wheel rake would get the windrow just a little bit too big for a square baler. It wouldn't for a round baler, but for a square baler, I'm afraid I would have to just be crawling to feed those windrows into it. So I went ahead and elected to go with the 8-wheel rake instead. I think it's going to serve my purposes just fine for what I'm going to need. So anyway, there it is. There's the tractor we're going to pull it with. I'm going to have to do just a little bit of modification on this tractor in order to pull this rake. As you can tell, there's no rear hydraulic outlets on this tractor. So what I'm going to do is come around here to this side. Right here where these hydraulics are at, what I'll end up doing is disconnecting the one for the tilt on the loader, or I may even just take the loader off, I don't know. But anyway, I'll run the hydraulics off it. But I'm going to need to make an extension back here on this hydraulic line in order to be able to run it up through here to hook into the hydraulics in the front. And of course, there being the handle. So, but anyway, that's what it is. Hopefully it's going to serve my purposes. I think it's going to be a good rake. If you know anything about these Frontier rakes, good, bad, whatever, leave me a post in the comment section. Let me know your feelings on them. Keep my fingers crossed that I got a good hay rake. They are a subcontract manufactured rake that John Deere sells. So I'm hoping that they're going to be a decent hay rake. So anyway, let's go down to the farm and I'll show you the bale accumulator and the bale grapple. I'm trying to get all the pieces of this puzzle put together before hay season comes in, full swing. Getting all this equipment brought home. I've got my tractor. A friend of mine, he's doing a little work on it. As with all 86 series international tractors, I was having a little bit of problem with the shifter on it. So I'm getting some work done there. But luckily I found out the problem is not as bad as what I had anticipated. Just got a little bit of problem with some linkage adjustments and a roller that had come loose. So hopefully that'll be fixed within the next day or so. And I get the tractor back home. Tomorrow I am going to look at a John Deere round baler. Now my intention is not to get into the round bale business. My primary goal is to stay in the small square bale business. But as I very well remember from the first time I was in this hay business, Mother Nature does not always cooperate real well, and there will be times that you're going to get hay wet. If that happens, or I guess I should say when that happens, because it's for sure it will at some point in time. I'm not going to waste barn space by putting square bales in that's gotten wet. So the roll baler is just a secondary backup baler. I'll probably will eventually pick up some fescue that'll get roll baled. I haven't even bought this baler yet, and I've been asked by one person so far that if I would do some custom roll baling for him. So there's going to be a little bit of sideline benefit to having a roll baler other than just for my own use as well. So anyway, that'll be tomorrow. If I get time, I'm going to go look at it and then see what I can work out on. I'm making a purchase on that later. And then I've got a deal worked out with a friend of mine to utilize his mower conditioner and tedder. Now, this is a temporary thing to get started with. I'm going to be roll baling some hay for him as well. So then we're going to trade out on me baling his hay for the use of his mower and tedder. So that's going to work out for the first year, but eventually I'm hoping like probably next year I'm going to look at buying just a regular disc mower for my use and try to pick up the tedder somewhere along the way. Okay, well, we're fixing to pull in here in the farm, so I'll get with you in just a second. Well, there's one of them. Just being the bale accumulator, of course. Well, I can't tell a whole lot about it with it sitting on that trailer with them pallets underneath it. But yeah, it's a 10 bale accumulator. Pretty structurally sound. Of course, there's wheels, we got them folded inward instead of outward like they would be in transport behind the baler. A little bit of rust right here. Nothing I'm overly concerned about because that's not a major support beam of any kind. The main one's right here underneath. This is just the edge on top where the bales come in. Eventually cut that out and re-weld a piece into it. But yep, it's a Hosher 1000. Hadn't had a whole lot of hay run across it over the years, I don't think. I'm going to have to get some new skin on them tires there, though. They're pretty worn down. And here's the bale wagon. It's 30 foot. Depends on how high you stack. It'll hold anywhere from 200 to 250 bales. depending on the weight, obviously, and how good the tires are on it. And then the bale grapple. Now what the plan is here is I'm going to get a loader and put on the 1086, and I don't really know for sure just yet. Still in a thinking process on how we're going to do unloading into the barn. But I am considering buying a forklift, and the barn that I'm going to be putting it in, it's got a pretty solid floor in it. It's a old pole barn. It's built in the 1960s, so the ground in there is like concrete. And my plan is, unless I change my mind, is I'm going to buy a forklift and put a hay grapple on it, and that way I can unload straight off of the wagon or trailer, whichever the case may be, and stack it with a forklift. And the forklift I'm looking at, it has a 2-stage mast on it. It'll reach about, I think, 16 feet up, 15 feet, yeah, 15 feet. And that will stack nine bales high, I believe, with them being stacked on their side. Thanks for watching again, and as things progress, I'll continue to bring you up to speed. Until next time, I'll talk to you then. I do have a combine that is for sale. It's on Craigslist, listed under Western Kentucky under Farm and Garden, and grain truck that's for sale as well. So if anybody's interested in either one of these, you can check Craigslist under Western Kentucky under Farm and Garden, and you'll find those listed.